We've reached a point where just about every month, or what honestly feels like every week now, there's a new switch in social media platform and behavior, especially because social media changes with the world, and well, the world changes very rapidly. I've grown up with social media and have been working in the field for about 7 years now. So here are some of the big changes I think are expected to come this year. Despite the looming potential of a TikTok ban, because it is the platform that truly brought video to the social media experience in such a way that it's now a big part of social media, video content will continue to be a primary content format. Even if TikTok is banned, there's no going back. And other social media platforms have been preparing for this ban and also just making sure their platforms are up to speed with video in general. Instagram launched Reels a while ago in 2020, then came Facebook with Reels in 2021, and YouTube Shorts launched in 2021 as well. And just recently, YouTube added a bunch of new updates to Shorts, like being able to upload Shorts that are up to 3 minutes long, the ability to respond to comments with a short, and a template feature. And that's not the only platform that has branched out into video, because now LinkedIn has a vertical video feed, which I gotta get on. And this is a good thing, honestly, because outside of like platform-specific trends, vertical video content for social has a format that is pretty universal. Aside from using specific in-app features to make it exclusive to the platform, which means you can pretty much make vertical social video and post it across different platforms. And from a getting the most mileage out of your content perspective, I love video content because of the nature of reach it has. Whether you're putting up a TikTok or a reel or a short or now a LinkedIn vertical video, these content pieces are being put into the video ether of that designated platform and being pushed out beyond just the people who follow you. It's a really great way to get as much reach as possible. That being said though, this does mean that video skills will become a key part of working in social and being a content creator. Now, this is not to say that you need to have these sophisticated and robust skills and know how to use Adobe Premiere Pro or even Final Cut Pro and make things look like they're floating and levitating, but you need to know enough to make a video engaging. You need to know how to get people's attention, you need to know how to keep people's attention, and you need to know how to communicate your value. I know there's a lot of videos out there on hooks and how to go viral, and yes, while I think there are elements to video content that contributes to it, I don't think that that's ultimately within your control in the ways many people say it is. But again, I do think there are key elements to creating video content that are very doable, by the way, whether you're seasoned in video or just starting out, that'll significantly increase your chances, which I'm happy to share. So if that's something you'd find interesting, let me know and I can do a video on it. But just because video will continue to be king, especially in the short form, because that's just how things go on social, I do think that short form video will basically hit a wall, because the truth is there's only so much you can do within such a short period of time, whether it be a few seconds to 1 to 3 minute videos. And after a while, it does become too formulaic across platforms and across creator content styles, which is why I think creativity in short form is going to be key, and why I think that long form will start to become really important too. And to be honest, I think we've already kind of reached that point. Because think about it, social media platforms are secondary search engines. It's where people go to get tips and tricks and reviews and insights on things across niches from actual people, showing actual demonstrations, giving actual in-depth insights and details. The value that is provided in long-form video is significantly more profound than the value that is given in the short form. And from a consumer to creator perspective, when people are engaging with you in such a way that requires more investment of their time, and you combine that with being provided content that is meaningful, it makes for such a stronger connection and community building, and It also makes the likelihood of meaningful engagements, likes, comments, and shares, and follows and subscriptions higher, because when you're able to explore things in the long form, you can get into deeper discussions, get your point across in a more compelling way, because you're not trying to crunch things into a time limit. In my opinion, gone are the days of the prepped and primed and contrived creator content and their perfect lives. Authentic content is gonna cut through the noise of the curated. I feel like at this point, we've been served way too many paid partnerships and sponsored content and TikTok shop videos trying to sell a product or a service, and heavily filtered and posed and practiced and obviously planned content, that it's become the standard of what we see during our scroll, and people are desensitized to it. Like, we all know what goes into creating and curating a photo or a video or a feed that, yes, does exist for some people, but not necessarily for the majority or for anyone, actually, because let's be real, nobody's life is that perfect. And I think with so many influencers and thought leaders in each of their respective niches and fields and industries, the ones who are able to be honest about the realities of their work and their lifestyle, like those who are able to show the struggles and the setbacks and the response to the times and shifts alongside their accomplishments and their 6 or 7-figure income, are going to cut through the noise of the perfect and connect with people in a deeper way, because it humanizes them and it humanizes their journey and their experience, as opposed to productize them. And I think this also includes shifting away from the niche-y stuff from time to time and just sharing your interests. Sharing the things you like to do during your free time, sharing your identity and the things that mean a lot to you, because when you do those things, they're bound to overlap with people in your audience, you know? Especially when you're in a given niche. Because if you're a content creator or some type of entrepreneur, then you probably engage in hobbies that overlap with the people that watch your content, you know? And also, there's just more to us than our work. There's so much more to who we are, or even who businesses are, that make them much more interesting. As we know, a big shift on social over the last year has been the move towards AI. With Grok on X, AI on Instagram, and now Meta's most recent attempt at AI bot profiles. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like: social media accounts of AI bots that function and engage and share content like human beings, which they're now deleting because people were rightfully roasting the accounts for being weird. Like, there were these 2 Instagram AI bot accounts at Hi Mama Liv and at Hello Grandpa Brian that were posting photos of their AI kids and AI families. And those were 2 of the accounts that were removed because, yeah, it's just weird, like super uncanny and super obvious too. It's like literally watching the uncanny valley phenomenon that I'm not even gonna share supporting images on because it's really weird. You're free to look it up on your own, and if you do, I would advise you do it when it's bright out and you've got some time between that and when you're gonna go to sleep. Because I don't know about you guys, but if I watch something weird or just spooky a few hours before it's time for me to go to bed, it will show up in my dreams. But apparently these removals had a lot to do with the fact that a bug was preventing people from being able to block the accounts, and they're actually expected to be back at some point or another because Mark Zuckerberg supports this type of content. I just don't see the value or point in creating AI bot profiles that act like human beings, especially as a corporation. Like, seriously, what is gained from that for the consumer? Because I can name a ton of ways this benefits the corporation, like them being able to use the way actual human beings engage with these profiles, especially via DMs, to get even more information on top of what they already have to learn about, you know, user behavior and patterns. But what's the give? What's the benefit for the consumer? If I'm missing something, let me know. But I think the response to this whole AI bot profile thing is also a testament to the fact that AI might not be as well received as initially thought by the programmers creating updates and features with it. And I think people are already weary of it. And I think the more it's basically what feels like forced onto us, the more people are going to pull back from it and be weary of it even further. and try their best to disengage from it completely. Like, people don't even like the contrived and primed and the perfected stuff from actual human beings. So what would make them want that from a non-human? In my most recent video before this one, I got this comment from @lilpets500 who shared their perspective on AI as an artist, specifically how it's deeply depressing to creatives because they're inherently exploitative without their consent. And I think that was a really great point to make and highlight, because these programs infringe on the IP, aka the intellectual property of creatives who share their work online, because AI is trained by scraping the internet and its archives of images and text. If you're an avid and consistent social media user, you definitely have your go-to creators that you follow on the platforms that you use. And I bet that some of these creators are not just people you look towards for what's currently happening or trending in your niche, but also what's going on socially, politically, economically, all the leaves. And I bet you look to them so much so that when you think of experts in whatever given area, you probably think of those creators as the experts in their respective fields. This has been happening. Like, this isn't something that's just exclusive to or starting this year, but I think what we will see is this deepen the relationship consumers have with creators even further, whether that be following a Substack, which now has over 35 million active subscriptions as a platform, or Patreon, or even the release of books. And I also wouldn't be surprised if creators start to break through and beyond social and become a part of larger media by contributing to news shows or popular media outlets. Having kept on top of social media news and platforms changes, there's a few platform changes that I'm anticipating in 2025. One of them being that Threads will probably blow up or see a really significant rise, because they just hit 100 million daily active users, and they're expected to start allowing ads on the platform this year, which isn't usually what a company is in a position to do without having a significant set of users and expected growth in users to justify advertisers to pay money for. I know Blue Sky is another Threads adjacent platform that people are looking towards since there's been an exodus to there from X, and who knows, it might become another contender platform. But right now, the numbers just aren't big enough for me to start really looking at that, at least right now. Another platform change I'm predicting for 2025 is Instagram and YouTube seeing a big increase in new and active, and by active, I mean people who are posting, users, especially if TikTok gets banned. Again, like I mentioned at the top of this video, I think TikTok has really changed the way we use social media, especially with video, and the fact that video content is also just easier to make, and people aren't gonna let that go so easily. So I totally see the flow over from TikTok making its way to Instagram and YouTube. And I'd probably say Instagram first more than anything, because it is a bit more plug and play and something that more people are probably used to using anyway. Well, these are the things I think are going to be some changes we'll see across social this year. If you think there's anything I missed, let me know down below in the comments. For more on all things social media, so news, culture, the occasional 101, hit that subscribe button because there's more to come. Till next time.